My next little yarn review. This yarn is called Patons Delish, and it is definitely luscious. It feels heavenly in the skein. It is, you can get this yarn, Patons Delish, on the Yarnspirations website, www.yarnspirations.com. It is 65% acrylic, 35% wool, about 70 meters or 76 yards, 100 grams, 3.5 ounces, made in Italy. One skein is enough for a hat, one skein is enough for a scarf, and 7 to 10 skeins is enough for a sweater. Hand wash, lay flat to dry. It is a super bulky yarn. You should use a size 15 knitting needle, 10 millimeter. You'll get 8 stitches per inch. 8 stitches per 4 inches on the in a swatch in stockinette, and that would be about 2 stitches an inch. And if you crochet, use a size N15 crochet hook, 10 millimeter, and you'll get 6 single crochets for every 4 inches or 10 centimeters. So that's everything on the outside. The color I have is called apple cider, and it is like a burgundy with shades of green occasionally, like a forest green, and it also has like an orange tinge to it occasionally, I've noticed in certain lights. So it has a lot of character to it. This is really interesting yarn, and it's luscious. It feels very good. And if you open up the label, on the inside it has instructions on how to wind this into a ball, because this is a hank of yarn. It's not a skein like normal. So when you pull off the label, you'll have a hank. And the hank is like that. So they recommend that you get somebody to hold it, but you could put it on this is a Swift that I have in my craft room, and I couldn't fit it all the way around, so I've just got it on 2 of my posts there. And then you just get your scissors, and you find this little spot that's tied with a different color thread, and you just cut that thread, and then you cut it off there at the very end of the yarn, and that's gone. Now you have yarn that you can pull off around and around like that. You can go round and around, and then to wind it into a ball, you hold it in one hand, and you hold it down with a thumb, and then you just wrap the yarn around your fingers like this over and over again, and you just keep going round and round the hank, and you wind that up, and then you'll have one piece that you were holding will be the center of what you were just winding. So I did that earlier. And I have a hank right here that I've already hand wound, so it's ready to use. So I'm going to get all these out of the way, and we can use this thing that I wound up earlier. And now I have a center pull skein that I can work with. So I'm going to try to knit with these bamboo knitting needles, size 15, 10 millimeter. And it's knitting very easily because it's such a thick yarn. And this is what's called a braided yarn, or an I-cord yarn. You can see all those little ends because it goes round and round and round. and it has a nice shimmer, nice sheen to the yarn. It almost looks like human hair. That's how shiny it is. Very silky. Easy to work with bamboo needles. And now I'm going to try purling with bamboo needles. It's very easy to work with. It feels wonderful in the hands. Dreamy, luscious yarn. It feels, oh gosh, very expensive. That's the way it feels. Now I'm going to try with my metal needles, very pointy metal needles. Let's see how that works. And it works very well. It's not splitting the yarn, it's just grabbing it and working straight through. Feels really good. These are vintage Susan Bates Whisper Smooth or something like that. Working very well. So now you can see the stockinette fabric it creates, and you can see that shimmer, that sheen that I'm talking about, how it looks like hair. I love that. I'm going to try to knit a few rows and see how it looks in garter stitch. I think I prefer working with this with these metal needles. It's gliding more easily. I don't have to fight the yarn quite so much. Very smooth. And it's not splitting, it's holding together. It's a nice yarn. A luxurious yarn. That's the word I was looking for earlier. Luxurious. It would make such a heavenly sweater. God, wow. I cannot imagine having a whole sweater out of this. But I have enough skeins to do a whole sweater. I've got 12. So the garter stitch looks good, but I think I like the look of the stockinette better. It just has a nicer looking fabric. You can't see the sheen quite as much in the garter stitch as you do with the stockinette. I just like the look of it. And the reverse stockinette has a good look as well. And there's a good lofty feel to the yarn, so it would make a nice warm sweater. Not incredibly bulky, but bulky enough. So I wouldn't really call this super bulky. I would call it bulky. So now, let's see how it unravels and crochets. Ooh, very easy to unravel. It just pops right off. Easy peasy. No problemo. Now let's try. I'm going to use a P hook. I don't have an N. Yeah, this is a little too big for this yarn. But I need to find an N hook somewhere, don't I? I have so many yarns that call for a size N hook. I should just bite the bullet and buy some N hook. So I'm going to have to look for that tomorrow at my craft store. Do, 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 do. But it crochets well with the P hook. This is a plastic hook. I have no idea where I got it. I don't know what brand it is. Let's see here. What does it say? Huh, it doesn't tell me the brand. Unless it's there and I just can't see it. I can't see it. I have no idea what brand this is. But it says it's 11.5 millimeters, so it's 1.5 millimeters too big. Because it calls for the yarn calls for a size 10 millimeter hook. So now I'm going to do some single crochet across here. It's working well, but I can tell it would be working better with the end. It still feels good though. It's not the yarn's fault I don't have a size N hook. Poor yarn. Let's try some double toiling trouble. There. There's there. Wow, this works so fast. It's so easy to work with. I bet if you made a project with this, it'd be done in no time at all. Because this yarn is just so easy to work with. Because it's a I-cord yarn. It's just like if you made an I-cord and then you just started knitting with it. Or crocheting. So there you can see. It still has that shimmer. You can see the glow. I love that. Very luxurious yarn. It's like braided hair, doesn't it? Nice. So now you've seen it knitted and crocheted. And of course it would probably look better if it were crocheted with a size N. But we'll let that go. And that's it. Now you've seen Patons Delish yarn. See you later. Bye.